Hey everyone, it's Justin from the podcast you're listening to. I just wanted to leave a quick message at the top. So many people are starting to find our podcast. I wanted to remind you all to take a second right now to hit follow and subscribe, just in case you don't have time to finish the whole episode. That way you can find your way back to us. All right, that's it. Enjoy the episode. Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Irène and Justin Talk Sequels. I'm Justin.
I'm Aaron.
And to all of our YouTube listeners, just a reminder, this is not the movie. I know you searched for this movie because you wanted to watch it for free on YouTube, but that's not the case. Just sit back and enjoy us talking about the movie.
Oh, that's how they're finding us.
To watch on YouTube.
Interesting.
That's how they're finding us.
If you wanted to watch a movie for free on YouTube and you found a half hour or so podcast of people just describing the film, would you just be satisfied with that?
Good enough.
Hell with it. I'll just listen to these guys talk about it. Is there any audio or video you can watch? No. Just the two people talking about it.
We are on a beach, though, where the ocean is out in front of us. We're drinking Mai Tais while we're talking about this movie. Speaking of Robert Downey Jr., had he gone to jail yet by the time this movie hit?
You know, I'm not really... I get him confused with other bad boys of the 90s, like Hugh Grant and who had what when. But I'm guessing that it was around the time of U.S. Marshals and also Bowfinger that Robert Downey Jr. was in and out of prison. That's my guess. But I could be wrong. It might even be like an early 90s thing, like Chaplin era.
How dare you compare Robert Downey Jr. to Hugh Grant?
But you can compare them. That's fine.
Hugh Grant's great. Downey Jr.'s, he's above Grant.
I think they both have ups and downs. I would say that Hugh Grant, he was making better films in the 90s than Robert Downey Jr. was. Am I wrong about that?
I don't know. That leads us great into our new segment, Robert Downey Jr. versus Hugh Grant. We're going to settle this right now. Do you have a pen and paper?
I need a pen and... What I need a pen and paper for?
I have an imaginary pen and paper.
I've got my Apple Newton.
You do not own an Apple Newton.
I owned an Apple
joke
Newton.
With the audience.
I'll be damned if you say any different.
All right. The Big Man.
What the hell's this?
We are going through Hugh Grant's 1990s filmography.
Okay, go for it. What year is this? What did we start in 1990?
1990.
Nice.
But you don't get to count The Big Man.
No, I don't even know what it is.
Exactly. Impromptu. All right, so we have 2 years down already in this decade.
It's not going well.
Okay. 1992. Bitter Moon.
He hasn't hit his stride yet, all right? Keep going.
Okay, so 3 years down, and now we get him for the first time in 1993, The Remains of the Day.
Bam.
So you can give him a 1.
Yeah.
Night Train to Venice, I've never heard of.
No.
So 94, here we go. 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Number 2.
And then Sirens.
No.
1995, we have Restoration.
Mm-mm.
No. Sense and Sensibility is yes.
There you go.
So that's a 3. And then he does 9 Months.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, I don't know if it's good, but it was popular.
Yeah. And then The Englishman Who Went Up a Hill But Came Down a Mountain.
I always remember the title, but I can't tell you if it's any good or not.
I know. So should we count it or no?
Let's count it.
Okay. And then we have An Awfully Big Adventure. I don't think that counts.
No.
1996 Extreme Measures. We know that one.
Oh, you loved that film for all the wrong reasons.
But
it's my favorite. One
for
of my
all the
favorite
wrong
stories.
Yeah.
You sided with Gene Hackman's view.
See, I don't even remember
that it's okay to kill a few to save the many. That was what you
to cure cancer.
Yes, and I was just appalled that you would come away from the movie being like, he was the good guy.
This Star Trek 2 will always be the center philosophy for all movies for the rest of time.
What's that? Oh, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Yeah.
As Spock said, You're right.
All right. So we're already to 1999. Mickey Blue Eyes.
I'll give him 1 for that.
Mobster film with James Caan.
Yeah, I remember.
And then Notting Hill.
I'm going to give him 2 for Notting Hill.
Yeah.
No.
All right. So what do we have for Hugh Grant?
We have 8.
8. Robert
8 popular
Downey
films in 10
Jr.
years. That's pretty good.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Okay.
You're not wrong.
All right, RDJ.
But we start 1990 with a little something called Air America. Counts.
I'll give it to him. With Mel Gibson.
Yep. Then he's in something called Too Much Sun, which doesn't count, but it's directed by his father.
Oh, yeah, right.
But also in 1991, he's in Soap Dish. Totally counts.
What the hell?
He's on the cover.
Soap Dish.
You've never heard of Soap Dish?
Nope.
Oh, stars Whoopi. 1992, Chaplin.
Okay.
Just so good.
See, here's the thing. I can't tell you all of the films Hugh Grant was in where he wasn't the lead, but out of those 8 films, I think it's a good percentage that he was actually the lead of those movies. Whereas
don't
Soap
start
Dish
getting...
and
We Are
the first
Memorable.
one and
He's on the cover.
Soap Dish, yeah, because he's popular now.
He's in the center.
There's
the
only
picture.
going to be a few RDJ movies where he's actually the lead. He's more of a cameo in many films.
If he is on the poster,
That's
I
not
think
true.
an
They
easy
do
rule.
that. They put people on the poster because they're popular now. It doesn't mean they were popular then.
No, these are the original posters.
Possibly. Okay, keep going.
Heart and Souls, which you will know this movie, but it doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
The Last Party doesn't count. Shortcuts,
Shortcuts, the
the
Robert
Robert
Altman
Altman movie.
I'll give that to him.
I don't think that counts because everybody was probably in that.
Yeah, but it was a popular film, and it's a beloved.
You want to count it?
Yeah, I'll count it. But it was a minor role.
Yeah, so that one's a little iffier for me.
It's iffy, but the whole movie was a bunch of minor roles.
This is
Tom
true.
Waitson's in it, Julianne Moore.
Here's a weird one. Hail Caesar, a comedy directed by Anthony Michael Hall. Anthony Michael Hall's first movie,
Okay.
starring Anthony Michael Hall, Samuel L. Jackson, Robert Downey Jr., Judd Nelson. Like, stacked
Yeah.
for 1994. He was in Natural Born Killers. Only You totally counts. A Norman Jewison movie. It's a love story between him and Marissa Tomei.
Okay.
He's on the cover. Richard III.
Kenneth Branagh.
And then one that counts.
Or that's the Mel Gibson movie.
I don't know. Home for the Holidays. I love that movie so
I
much.
don't recall.
It's a Jodie Foster movie that stars the chick with the cute voice.
Yeah, Holly Hunter.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, I know what
Anyway.
you're talking about. Home for the Holidays. Okay, I'll give him that.
Restoration, which he is top billed, but I don't know what that is.
Isn't Restoration the Hugh Grant film?
Oh yeah, Hugh Grant's in it. He gets the and. Robert Downey Jr. gets top billing. Hugh Grant gets and.
Okay, all right.
Robert Downey Jr., Sam Neill,
Gotta love Sam
Polly
Neill.
Walker, Meg Ryan, Ian McKellen.
Magical.
Hugh Grant.
Magical time.
Yeah.
I miss the 90s.
So many movies I've never heard of. He's in Danger Zone. Oh, it looks very clear that he's on drugs in this one. Wow, he looks bad. Danger Zone starring him and Billy Zane. One Night Stand. There's so many movies, Aaron. So many. Okay, One Night Stand is a movie directed by Michael Figgis, starring Wesley Snipes, Natasha Kinski, Kyle MacLachlan, Ming-Na Wen, and Robert Downey Jr. Interesting. Two Girls and a Guy, which stars him, but I don't know have any idea what it is. Hugo Poole.
What year are we at?
We're at 97. Patrick Dempsey, Richard Lewis, Alyssa Milano, Robert Downey Jr., Malcolm McDowell, Sean Penn, Hugo Poole. The Gingerbread Man is 1998. Another Robert Altman from a John Grisham manuscript.
Wow, weird. Never heard of it. All right, what do we got?
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Same
wrap it
year,
up.
he does U.S. Marshals.
Okay, I'll give him that one.
In Dreams, Friends and Lovers, Bowfinger,
There you go. I'll give him that one.
Black and White.
Okay, so he narrowly edges out Hugh Grant, at least in the Aaron and Justin films we know about. Cool.
Yeah, so many people are probably like, that was a great movie, you idiots.
But I'll give RDJ credit that he definitely was in more films, is what it sounds like. But I gotta say, though, I still think that Hugh Grant edges out he was the star of a majority of his films that he was in, whereas RDJ was kind of just a small supporting role.
I think the whatever drug stuff came in happened after 2000. Maybe it happened in 2001. So he's on that role and he's in every movie.
Okay.
And then in 2000, he only does Wonder Boys, which I loved him in.
Yes.
He does 2 short films in 2002 and 2003.
Yeah. You're probably right.
Because Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is where his career starts coming back. And that's not till 2005. So yeah.
I think that he struggled with it throughout the 90s, because I think him giving that performance in the 80s, Less Than Zero, I think was a very accurate depiction of either the way his life was or where it was heading.
See, I find it really cute that you say it like that because, I don't think he was struggling with it in the 90s.
He was
I think
enjoying
he was
it.
enjoying it in the 90s.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You don't
funny.
struggle until you start to stop. And
Yeah, that's true.
So why have we been talking about this for the last 15 minutes? I'll tell you why. We wanted to establish whether or not Robert Downey Jr. was high the entire time he was making this movie that we're covering today. We can't say for sure, otherwise he might sue us, but there's a very good chance.
Well, I know that he fucking hated working on this movie. Hated it. Did you read about them?
Really?
Talking about, oh,
No.
He has nothing good to say about this movie. And I'm like, really? You just kind of showed up in a suit and you got to shoot a gun sometimes and you got to hang out with Tommy Lee Jones, who I'm sure is a surly individual his whole life, but it can't have been too bad.
He's one of the ones where people might not love him, but they respect him. Like one of those things.
Like he wouldn't do well nowadays. Like he would get run out of the business.
I feel like that's what his wife says to him every morning.
He and I feel like Rip Torn, they were well respected and people put up with their antics because they were so good at what they did. Jack Nicholson is another one.
Oh, God, Jack. Yeah, he retired at the right time.
I mean, they probably were just like looking up skirts and, doing all kinds of bullshit for a laugh.
No, I see. I think Tommy Lee Jones was way even too serious for that kind of thing.
Oh, I don't know, man.
What is he famous for saying to Jim Carrey? The most famous line is, "I cannot sanction your buffoonery."
Oh, okay. I guess that's a Tommy Lee Jonesism. Well, look, what movie are we covering today, by the way?
We are covering U.S. Marshals, the 1998 sequel to the mega hit film The Fugitive.
And why did this movie exist?
I have an easy answer for you. Because The Fugitive made $370 million on a $44 million budget.
That's right.
That's why.
Because Tommy Lee Jones won an Academy Award for it.
Yes, he did. Because he was arguably the best part of The Fugitive.
He was one of the good
and that's
parts
where it gets
of
tricky.
But I would say Harrison Ford is the best part of The Fugitive. I mean, come on.
Harrison Ford... What's the right way to say this? Like... Harrison Ford in The Fugitive is kind of like him driving down the road in a Pinto. He's getting to the end of that story. He's figuring things out. We're enjoying it. It's Harrison Ford. But Tommy Lee Jones and the rest of the U.S. Marshals, they were the nitrous that you can throw in the gas tank. And really, that Pinto flies once you add that secret sauce of the U.S. Marshals. And I think everyone saw it.
Is there a reason you picked a Pinto, which was known as the car that would explode if it got rear-ended?
No, this is just my brain not working anymore.
Harrison Ford in 93, I'd say probably like 1990 to 96 or whatever, he just had that sweet spot where he was coming after. He wasn't Indiana Jones Harrison Ford anymore. He was like your dad Harrison Ford. But he was kicking ass, like Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Games, The Fugitive. I mean, all these films where he was kind of like the quintessential gray-haired action hero, but he wasn't old, but he wasn't young either.
Yeah, everything you've just said was a dad movie.
Total dad movie.
Yeah.
And anyway, that's why I think that he's the best part of The Fugitive. However, Tommy Lee Jones gave a great performance. I'm guessing they tried to get some sequel going with Harrison Ford all these years, because if they could make it happen, they would have, even though story-wise it wouldn't have made a lot of goddamn sense. But for some reason, they convinced Tommy Lee Jones, like, hey, what if you just come back and we'll give you your own thing where you're playing that character again? What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely see it going that way. We have sequels that are always intended to be. We have a first movie where it's like, all right, there's so much potential here. We have so many doors to open for sequels. We're setting up this story years into the future. And then you have movies, while they want it to be successful and they want a franchise, but it doesn't start that way. And I feel like The Fugitive is one of those movies where it was just meant to be a good movie. And then because it was a good movie, they tried to figure out where to sequelize it at.
Right. What can we squeeze out of this? There was one person they were able to pull from The Fugitive. I don't know. Maybe they were making a one-armed man movie after that. A prequel about where the one-armed man got his one arm from.
So The Fugitive made $400 million, and they were like, how do we capitalize on this, eh? And they settled on the Sony Spider-Man approach by making everyone else a sequel.
Yeah.
And so we have U.S. Marshals. Such a great premise. I love everything about what they were doing, because Tommy Lee, that entire U.S. Marshals group was awesome.
I guess.
Like, the chemistry between all of them was fun. We had something I'm especially pissed about going into this is that father-son relationship Tommy Lee Jones had with that younger guy.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
He got shot.
He got shot?
Yeah, RDJ
What do you
shot
mean?
him later in the movie.
Yeah, I know. Spoilers, man.
No, I don't. What were they trying to do? Because they weren't a ragtag team of U.S. Marshals as much as they all had a particular role in The Fugitive. But what they tried to do is they tried to make them an elite team of Avengers in the U.S. Marshals. But the only thing they could do with them is just have them around each other in the Kentucky swamp cracking jokes.
Yeah.
But nobody had a character big enough to make anything of except for Joe Pantoliano. But he's just that kind of actor where he can rattle off. He's just that kind of guy. But you can't do much with like the lady U.S. Marshal.
Yeah, I mean, she was so not important they recast her. If The Fugitive had come out in 2015, this absolutely would have been streaming on Max as an 8-episode limited series with Tommy Lee Jones. And they would do these special shortened seasons where they were chasing a new guy every season. That's just how it would have went.
Yeah.
But in the 90s, this was a movie.
I think that's what they were hoping. I'd put money on that in the third film, he would be the one they were chasing. He would be for a crime he did not commit.
Accused.
Yeah, wrongly accused for a crime he did not commit.
It was the 90s that would have happened. So they have the pitch, and it's a great pitch.
What's the pitch? Can you tell me what the pitch is? How did they pitch it? What do you think?
So we want to take the U.S. Marshals from The Fugitive and have them do it again. They're going to track down another fugitive, and it's going to be exciting.
Okay.
And everybody's like, okay.
And what are they going to be doing? I'm the Lorne Michaels-ish head of this studio.
Do you know how funny they were in The Fugitive?
Yeah.
Well, just picture this. I got 2 words to sell this to you, Lauren. Chicken costume.
Oh, right.
Okay? We put Tommy Lee Jones in the costume of a mascot, and then we have him have a shotgun.
You're thinking it. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Tommy Lee Jones in that costume, isn't it? And you can't wait
Tommy
till
Lee
he
Jones
takes
is gonna
that
be in the
head.
costume.
You can't wait till he takes that head off, and he's wearing those little chicken legs.
Once he takes the head off, people in the audience are going to scream, and then they're going to clap.
Sold. Here's $100 million.
If you had made U.S. Marshals,
Yeah.
what would your pitch have been?
Well, I'll tell you what I wouldn't have done.
No, you have to give me a pitch.
No, I just want to get into the film. I don't got a lot of time. I like Wesley Snipes, and I think that Snipes was a good draw in this, especially in '93, or '98.
Yeah, he was at the height of his powers.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say, you had Demolition Man, where he really came into his own, and then of course Blade. I think he's a good move, but the UN diplomat getting shot in the basement of the UN, whatever. Like there's all this political intrigue that did nothing for the film. It should have just been him being framed for something way simpler, and then going through a bunch of action set pieces to not get caught while he was clearing his name. But having him be this is his name is Mark Roberts, and he's a tow truck driver from Chicago, but he's actually a government agent. It just added this level of confusion that I just think really turned the viewer off to the film experience, where if they just had kept it a little more down to earth, kind of like, here's Harrison Ford, he's a doctor, people think he killed his wife, but he didn't, and he's going to try to find out who really did.
The biggest problem with me for this movie is the story. It's not...
Really? That's your big problem with the movie? Yeah, that's
my
problem too.
Problem.
I think that was everyone's problem.
Well, I've had a lot of time to think about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is directed by Stuart Baird. Is it Stuart's fault?
No, I don't think so. When you look at his filmography, it's pretty obvious to me that he's a great editor and he liked working in that field. And then when he bumped up to director, he had maybe one fun experience, but this movie killed everything for him until they convinced him to come back for one more thing to do a Star Trek movie. But he was like, fuck being a director. I'm going back to editing. So I think there was a lot of studio interference, is my guess, on this movie, and maybe executive decision, which he had made just before this.
This guy was nominated for Academy Awards. Like he knows how to chop a movie together.
Totally.
At the very least.
He worked on so many great films.
Legendary.
And then, of course, you got to bump up to director. Everybody loves you. You could do this. And he just, to me, it looked like he had a horrible experience on a couple films. So that's why he's like, I'm not directing anymore.
Well, then what about the producer? Is it the producer's fault? Arnold Kopelson? Wow, legendary producer of things like The Fugitive, in Outbreak, in Seven, in Eraser, in The Devil's Advocate. Okay, that's not all good. But anyway, I don't blame the producer.
No, I mean, I don't know what it... This is just my guess. But when you have a 20-year career of editing and then you bump up to director, normally you'd imagine your career ending as a director. But he only did 3 films and then he went back to editing. That tells me it wasn't an enjoyable experience for him.
And I still think Star Trek Nemesis is good.
Yeah, it's not a bad
Executive
film.
Decision is good. And U.S. Marshals is fine. All right, so it's not the producer, it's not the director. God, maybe it's this writer, this John Pogue guy. Let's check out his filmography. Okay. Ooh, what do we got? His first movie that he wrote was U.S. Marshals.
Mm-hmm. Breaking into the biz.
His second movie was The Skulls.
Yeah, remember that one?
Which he believed so much in that he produced as well.
And then I'm going to say...
Guess what movie he wrote next?
Hold on. I'm going to say Joshua Jackson from Dawson's Creek fame.
Yeah.
Was in The Skulls, right?
Yeah.
Yes. It was one of those movies.
One of those
You know, the young hot teen movies where they're like, well, what's his franchise going to be? Let's put him in The Skulls.
The Skulls also had Paul Walker. And then this guy was an executive producer on The Fast and the Furious.
Okay.
Guess what movie he wrote next, Aaron? Guess.
Skulls 2 is my guess.
Fucking Rollerball.
The James Caan remake with LL Cool J. Is that what it was?
Directed by John McTiernan.
Yeah. A long way from Die Hard.
Next, after that, he did Ghost Ship.
I think I saw that.
And then he wrote Quarantine 2, Terminal, and then The Quiet Ones. Anyway, long story short, it's this John Pogue's guy
you think so?
fault that this movie's bad.
It was his first movie.
Yeah.
It
bad sex is bad sex.
Like
it doesn't matter if it's your first time.
It doesn't feel... That's nice. It doesn't feel like his script. And I only say this not having read any of his scripts, and then it was his first script. It just feels like studio interference to me, where they saw what was being done. This isn't working. Go reshoot this. Go do this. Change this thing, and we'll try to put it together.
I think they came up with the idea of how he would escape the plane crash, and then they didn't have any other idea.
That's possible,
It was the only thing that was executed pretty well.
Something like that is a direct response to The Fugitive. Okay, what worked well in The Fugitive? Well, the bus train escape thingy. What's your set piece in this one? Oh, it's going to be a plane this time, right? But his first try was a blimp, but it was deemed not as exciting. But like even that, like the plane had that weapon on it, like it was a hidden gun, and then that comes in later to be like the Chinese nationals or like setting up an assassinate. I still do not know how the fuck this all came together. What does that have to do with anything? Why would they make it so confusing?
It's so hard because it's so bad.
You said you really liked it.
No, it's fine. Like, it's a fine movie. They should have just simply made this a U.S. Marshals versus a legendary serial killer.
That's the pitch.
You can't have every movie of this franchise be, oh, they're chasing him, but he's not that bad.
Right.
No, Wesley Snipes is a bad guy in this movie, and they don't treat it like that. He was dirty. He murdered 2 people and ran away. And then just is like, all right, well, I'm going to live in Chicago now. I'm going to get a girlfriend and drive a truck.
I can't imagine he would just become a tow truck driver. That was what was weird to me. When you found out who he actually was, he was some like government agent assassin. It just felt very strange. So I couldn't rationalize the 2 characters he was playing in this. They didn't go together for me. That was my biggest problem watching his performance. Who are you really? Are you a blue-collar tow truck driver that got in over his head as a government agent? Or are you really a government agent for some reason is okay living this blue-collar life? I don't know. It just was very strange. It never coalesced for me.
You know what made The Fugitive engaging? The fact that he was innocent and didn't kill his wife.
And he was just a rich doctor.
He wasn't innocent. He killed those people while he was committing a crime.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have any sympathy for him, and we shouldn't.
But he was hired to do it. That's fine. Like, that's why it's okay. Because that's what I do. I go and kill people. But I didn't do it on purpose. Or they told me I should do. I don't know. I really don't even remember. Why was he innocent?
He wasn't innocent. That's the thing.
Right.
He's a secret agent. That's basically it. It's okay to kill people if you're a secret agent. We get it. even if the government who made you a
complicated.
secret agent is bad. All right, so here's the plot.
Here's the plot.
This dude is hiding out in Chicago, minding his own business, has a girlfriend that's incredibly loyal for some reason. They can't have been together that long. Mm-mm. And he gets into a car accident, ends up at the hospital. The cops run his prints because they find a gun in his tow truck, find out that he's wanted for 2 murders of secret agents in New York. Yeah. And so they're flying him back to New York.
It's already kind of laughable.
And then here's where
I just want to interrupt for 1 second.
Yeah.
When he's being interrogated about this after the tow truck accident, he's being set up. That is a fact. Because Mark Roberts has no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Like, he's clearly being set up. So I was like, okay, cool. This is where the movie's going. But then he's not. He actually did it. This is the first part of the thing that like really confused. I just couldn't justify this movie I was watching and his character arc.
Yeah. We're supposed to like the U.S. Marshals, and I feel like they make us like Wesley Snipes too much. Mm-hmm. Like, your brain tells you you're supposed to like him, and you're not.
Because he's innocent, and he's set up. And now we're going to go on a fun adventure to find out why he's being set up. And it has something to do with a vehicle he towed once, and and somebody hid the gun in his car or something like that, you know? But it doesn't go that way at all.
And if they're going to go that route, they should have had Tommy Lee Jones do the thing where it's like, how's this happening again? You remember, like, the thing in the Chicago with that doctor? It's happening again. It can't be happening again.
So, yeah, Tommy Lee Jones, while this is going on, he was busy being a chicken, trying to do, I guess, U.S. Marshal shit. I don't know. It looked like just a giant drug bust, or it was a terrorist thing.
Yeah, their job is really just tracking down fugitives. Okay. Like, that's like 90% of their job.
Okay.
And so that tracks pretty well.
So, yeah. So they find out Mark Roberts isn't who he says he is. He's actually wanted for murder. And I'm thinking he's set up. So then they put him on a plane because they have to transport him somewhere. They always have to transport prisoners. So here comes the plane. And it's a fun set piece. You know, it's fun. It crashes a long time. So Wesley Snipes is a good guy. That's what we're learning. Because he stays and helps people survive that plane crash because he's such a good guy, right?
Yeah.
And he's obviously being framed for these murders. He's a tow truck driver.
Yeah.
But he escapes, and now we got a fugitive loose. That's when the team's called in to come and say a couple funny things and meet Sam down in the Kentucky swamp. And then, I don't know why, but there's a special agent put on the case as well because they don't have enough people.
So that was the CIA? Was it the CIA or the State Department? I think they always said State Department.
Okay, but that's Robert Downey Jr.'s role. He's forced upon them.
Yes, Robert Downey Jr. is an agent just like Wesley Snipes. We don't know this yet. But, well, no, we do. And he's being tasked with hunting down Wesley Snipes because he killed 2 of his friends. I just want to say real quick that this movie introduces unnecessary complications where Tommy Lee Jones is always getting in trouble from his bosses by being too much of a crazy man, not following the rules. Everything that Tommy Lee Jones, is known for is...
Is that his character in The Fugitive?
No!
Yeah, they were trying to give him some other element to his character in this one where he's like a Dirty Harry type almost.
Yeah, and he's not. He's such a rule follower, and he does what he's supposed to. In The Fugitive, he still arrested Harrison Ford at the end. He was just taking his time about arresting him so that he could see where this led, because he didn't really think that he did it. Anyway, I didn't like that they added that element to this movie. It wasn't necessary.
Yeah, they were trying to give him something else to his character, but it just was out of character.
What are the names of these U.S. Marshals? We've got Joey Pants, Daniel Roebuck. I like him. He's funny. The mustache guy. LaTanya Richardson, who plays the woman. And is it Tom Wood? Noah Newman? Is it Newman? Yeah.
I think that was the son to Sam Gerard's father.
Yeah, they have this whole dynamic that we saw in The Fugitive where he was the rookie and where Tommy Lee Jones took care of him and treated him like his son. And they really could have done something with the character, but they decided not to. Anyway, Wesley Snipes escapes and he immediately holds 2 people hostage and forces them to take him places.
This is where it started to turn for me. Well, why why is he doing this? Like, you're kind of making him look like a bad guy. Obviously, he's innocent, and he's just trying to prove he's innocent. Why? Harrison Ford wouldn't do this.
Harrison Ford would not have taken people hostage.
And then I could be wrong, but I think we find out his backstory and that he's actually a government killer because he just tells his girlfriend over the phone. Isn't that it?
No, the State Department tells us, like, to Tommy Lee Jones before we learn that.
Oh, okay. So that's like RDJ. He kind of gives that info up.
Yeah, they give that up
Why?
immediately.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, that was the point of the movie that they kind of lost me. Well, why am I going to root for this guy? He's a bad guy.
He fucking shoots Tommy Lee Jones.
Another thing that's like, well, this is bad guy stuff. I mean, he knew he had like bulletproof vest and stuff on, but still.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones is very forgiving of that gunshot. He's like, hey, he didn't shoot me in the face. He could have shot me in the face. He didn't. Is he one of the worst U.S. Marshals? Is he always giving the people that he's transporting the benefit of the doubt?
Like, I guess so. Well, why
On
are
that
they
flight
turning him
from New
into
York?
this? They just think that they need to change his character from who he was in The Fugitive because he was too straight-laced, too much of a U.S. Marshal in The Fugitive. But that was why his character worked, and that's why he won an Academy Award for it, because he was just this straight-up, I'm a U.S. Marshal. But in this one, they're trying to give him some sort of personality that does not fit. So they dress him as a chicken. They make him a wild card. They give him a stupid shirt with a barbecue logo on it or something because he ruins a shirt. And that's like all I have to say about him. And then Wesley Snipes, he's not innocent. He's a killer. So then you're not on his side either. And that's all I really have to say about him too.
And I feel like he's a little abusive of that woman in that relationship. Having her come out there and help him commit crimes.
Yeah.
Like, you're not serving her best interest. She's going to end up in jail. And she's not known you long enough. And you've been lying to her. She doesn't even know who you are. That's not fair, Wesley Snipes.
So we follow a couple
fair.
good action scenes here and there with Snipes trying to get away. And he's trying to find out who set him up. But it's not really a setup because he was hired to kill them anyways. But everything has a twist.
The biggest problem, again, logically, with this is, do you know when you figure out when you were set up? Before you're wanted for the murders. He could have immediately started sneaking around without all this attention.
Yeah, he was kind of hiding out and not worrying about it until it was thrust in his face again. But then again, maybe now that he's wanted, he's kind of forced to figure it out because it's the only way he can clear his name.
That just makes him sound lazy.
He was totally lazy.
I guess I'll figure this out now.
Again, why would you just want to live your life as some tow truck driver when you were like a hotshot government assassin or something? I don't know.
And like, we see that he has the ability to get money and IDs really easily. He could have fled and been living anywhere.
Yeah, what's the twist with Robert Downey Jr.? Can you explain that to me?
The twist is that there was a mole in the State Department. Documents were getting leaked to the Chinese embassy or something like that. And it was all Robert Downey Jr. doing it. He was the leak.
And so he kills Sam Gerard's son. For all intent and purposes.
Yes.
Because he's trying to further frame Wesley Snipes?
See, that's my big problem is, like, he was about to kill Wesley Snipes, and he decides to kill the kid because he's a witness.
To what?
Even though they're both cops. If he had just executed him...
Yeah.
What would have happened? He would have gone to his bosses and they would have been like,
we wanted you to take care of him anyways, so you get a little slap on the wrist.
Yeah, nothing bad would have happened to him if he had just shot him point blank in that.
I saw it as Downey Jr. was trying to frame Snipes even more. And then maybe they would just kill him immediately instead of hear anything he had to say because he could have given up whatever Downey Jr. was doing. But Wesley Snipes saw that he killed that guy, so now he has something else to tell Sam Gerard. I don't know.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It's not very logical.
And then he jumps off a building onto a train, and that was the big stuntman scene that was in the trailer.
It was pretty good.
I loved that. It was pretty good.
There's this showdown at a cemetery that is really convoluted.
It has something to do with the Chinese.
Yeah, like
at the UN. Yeah,
we really don't know why the Chinese are involved, and we really don't care.
It's like everything had to be needlessly longer and more confusing in these kind of movies.
Like, imagine how cool if he was tracking a serial killer. Oh, that would have been fun.
And then it all wraps up
on a boat.
Robert Downey Jr. tries to now kill Sam Gerard, right? Because he's found out everything.
No, he was so awesome that there was never any threat of him being hurt.
But they fought in like this grain barge or some shit.
Yeah, and they shoot Wesley Snipes and they take him into custody and he's at the hospital. And Tommy Lee Jones and Robert Downey Jr. are having friendly banter and they talk about the gun because he tells him early in the movie to get a different gun because his giant silver gun wasn't useful. And that was the gun that killed the boy. And it all clicks for him. And he took his ammo away right then because he knew he was the killer. And then he stops him and everything's fine.
Is this the lamest movie we've ever covered?
We might.
Because it's hard to get excited about things.
I just feel like there's a lot of mistakes. The mistakes of the movie are the things that are interesting about it.
I think Stuart Baird was just like, what the fuck am I doing? If I had just edited this movie, I would have been able to polish this turd. But the way it is now, I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun directing. You know what movie he didn't edit? U.S. Marshals.
I actually just saw that it was edited by somebody named Terry Rawlings.
Yeah. So $45 million film, right? And it doubled it at the box office.
4,502, yeah.
But that's the thing, like, it didn't make a profit. Generally speaking, it has to make double in order to break even.
And so they might have made like 10 million.
Please. 10 million just fell out of Tommy Lee Jones' pocket back in 1998. What does he care?
Yeah, he doesn't care too much.
Let's blame the writer.
John Pogue.
Pogue.
It's John Pogue's fault. John Pogue.
You idiot, Pogue.
God damn it, Pogue. What were you thinking? We want you to leave a comment, Mr. John Pogue. Please leave a comment on this and explain to us what was in your head when you were...
How many stars do you give this movie out of 4?
Out of 4?
Yeah.
If we're going out of 4, 2.
2? Okay.
Yeah.
If you were going to say, is it a failure, a fiasco, or a secret success?
Ooh, I like these. We need to remember to do these.
Well, I stole it from an article that this guy writes for the AV Club.
I'd call this a failure.
It's a failure. It's not a fiasco. Yeah, it's not crazy enough to be a fiasco.
And it's not good.
No, it's not good. So it's a failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. That is it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. Until next episode, I've been Justin.
And I'm so sorry about this one, everyone. I know it's just, God, the movie's just, it's not good. But yeah, I'm Aaron. And as always, I remain right here waiting to talk about another film.
That's right. We actually don't move in between episodes. Yeah,
just wait. I've been waiting for months to talk about this. And it wasn't worth it.
It wasn't. It didn't live up to the hype. No. It was a mistake.
All I've heard about is the U.S. Marshal hype for 30-some years now. Okay, but not that long.
We made a mistake, everyone.
We made a big mistake. Oh,
this should go at the top of the episode.
Yes. Just want to let you know that we made a horrible mistake.
We're so sorry.